Hello everyone, Neil Tappin here from Golf Monthly and welcome to the Wentworth Club and part one in a new series called 24 Hours to Save Your Game, in which we're going to try to help an 18 handicapper who, I think it's fair to say, has hit a bit of a brick wall with his game to see if we can really make a difference. Now, we've assembled a group of experts in the fields of fitness and fitting, coaching and also mental game and strategy to see if by the end of today, if we threw the best that we can at it, to see if we could help make a lasting improvement. And in this video, we are going to be focusing on coaching. So as I said, we're here at Wentworth and we've recruited Tom Godwin, who is the Golf Academy manager here, to see whether Tom can really make a difference to our golfers' game. Guys, if you're new to the Golf Monthly channel, please do hit the subscribe button to make sure that you don't miss any of our videos. Hit the like button if you like what you're watching. But let's head out now, meet Tom Clarke, our 18 handicap golfer, to find out exactly where he is with his game. Right, so Tom, you are an 18 handicapper and you and I have played quite a lot of golf together over the years, and I can say that when it's good, it's really good. So Tom hits the ball a long way, when it's working well, it's a nice soft draw that's pretty controlled. And I sometimes think to myself, I don't know how you're off 18. And then there are other times we play when you have, those real card-wrecking moments. So firstly, is that a fair representation of your golf?
I think it is fair.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying I hit the ball a long way, I'll take that. Yeah, when I drive it well, you get into the hole, everything's happy, you can have a chance of scoring. But too many times I'm playing shots from very far left of where I'm aiming.
Yeah,
the left-hand side of the course is often trod by my shoes. So that's definitely something that I need to look at and try and improve.
So do you think the driving aspect is where potentially the biggest improvement could be made?
I think it's more consistency. That's the thing. If I can get that nailed down, then I think golf will just be a lot easier to score.
So, speaking like right now about where your golf is, give yourself a grade out of 10.
I think probably generous giving it a 5 at the moment. I'm having lots of issues. I'm not scoring as well as I should be, or as where I was a couple of years ago. So, but I know, I'm still having the good round here and there. So, again, I think it's more consistency.
So are you playing to your handicap?
I have.
With that in mind, we're going to head out now onto the range here at Wentworth, meet Tom Godwin, who is the Golf Academy manager here at Wentworth, and see if Tom can help this Tom improve his technique.
Yeah, when Tom, he suffers from hooking the ball. He hooks the golf ball. And that sometimes is unlucky for a golfer, because that is one of the hardest ball flights to understand. It sometimes really doesn't make sense. I can hook a golf ball with the club face open to target. And everyone looks at you and goes, how do you do that? Well, if the swing path's moving more right than the club face can get round, you're gonna hook. With Tom, we had to kind of explain a little bit the mechanics of it. Being a cricketer, most of the day you're trying to defend your wicket. So you're pretty much trying to hold the bat square as it comes through. And as we've all learnt through golf, through launch monitors, through more technology, that golf is not a straight line sport. We've known that since time dot. It's a circular game. So if we can get the club face and the path matching together as they move around us, okay, we're going to hit some straight golf balls. Tom was trying to fix his hook by controlling the face more. His left-hand grip is on the strong side, but I've seen major winners with strong grips. I've also seen major winners with weak. This is left-hand grips. I've never seen a major winner with a grip sat underneath there like that. I've never seen one. So it kind of tells us that that's kind of a good fundamental to get your hand on top. So now from there, he could start to feel how he could put the speed back in the club head and throw it. And Tom had been told in the past about his grip, but everyone just told him about his grip, not what to do next. Okay, well, how do I play with this new grip? And that was our job today. We explained how now you're going to be able to get some whippy and throwiness into that club head. And the biggest thing is you're going to allow the club head to get past the grip, and therefore the path can start moving left. I don't want it moving left like that. Now we've got a different issue. I want it moving left and past the grip. So now you can see a different spin on the golf ball. We were trying to get him to feel more the club head whipping and throwing. We had a rope, and we got him throwing the rope a little bit and feeling that. Biggest thing, the biggest game changer is when we started lining golf balls up there, and I just said, all I want you to do is to feel like you're whipping the head past you and adding loft with the shaft this way and allowing the head to move that way. As soon as he felt that, he saw the ball go up and saw the ball flight change. He was pretty much off and running, and he stopped trying to control that face as it came through. So make sure his grip doesn't drift back under, and then always feeling like he's letting the club head beat the shaft, beat the grip to the ball, especially in his driver. It's like I explained to him, he said the driver is almost like an Olympic running track. That's lane 1, and that's lane about 600 and something. It's a pretty long piece of equipment, and it's mind-blowingly easy to get the grip there before that. I'm doing it each time now, but it's quite tricky to let the head to come all the way around, so then the shaft is somewhat back to where it starts. Most of us get the shaft a little bit forwards when it comes in there, but if we can get it somewhat back, because imagine the exaggeration you've got to have to try and get that head to line back up with the grip. So therefore, it turns it into a 10.5 degree. It makes a 7 iron a 7 iron. It makes a 5 iron a 5 iron. It makes a 4. I don't want a 6 iron to be a 3 iron.
Okay, so Tom, you finished your coaching session with Tom here at Wentworth. And I thought it was fascinating because I knew that you'd always had a tendency to hit a bit of a hook. And on cue, right from the start of the session, the hook came out to play. Yep. But actually, it was interesting to see that the fix for it comes from knowing exactly where it comes from, and it was possibly a little bit different to what I thought.
Yeah, absolutely. It's my first proper golf coaching I'd ever got, and I thought it was absolutely fascinating. And by the end of it, I was hitting golf shots in a way that I just had never even imagined was possible before. And as you say, I have this horrendous destructive hook, and by the end of it, the way that it's been solved is actually trying to hit it further left.
Which is what you might think is the absolute opposite of what you should be trying to do, but in fact, no.
No, absolutely right. It's all about the top of the club. Originally, it comes from my other sport background,
Yes.
cricket and stuff like that, where actually the top of the bat or the grip of the bat is actually in front of the blade of the bat, and actually turning that around and getting the club face coming through ahead of the grip, and it just turned it around, and suddenly Tom was very nice about it, saying, it's great actually having someone whose game is in a ditch somewhere, and that my game was absolutely in the ditch and I needed some serious help, because it's quite clear to him that, some things are quite drastically wrong, and I am desperate for anyone to tell me how to solve it.
Yeah.
So it was fantastic that I suddenly have got something to go and work on, and I suddenly want to go to the range and want to go and practice this.
Yeah, and remember exactly what Tom was telling you to do, and kind of try and repeat it.
Exactly, and to just try and get that, and that's brilliant. And if anyone else is having trouble with their game in that, go and get some help. I'd say, go and get some advice, because actually it will help you. It might be a bit nerve-wracking, especially if you haven't done it before, but actually have a nice conversation and try and get your game sorted.
It's always a bit nerve-wracking, isn't it? Because you're kind of showing, here I am, by the way, I'm struggling. Yeah. But actually, it's worth it. And I think from one of the things that I took away from it was, I think a lot of people go into lessons thinking, oh, am I going to get worse before I get better? Am I going to go through a period of just duffing it before I actually make any improvements? But as you saw, some of the shots that you hit were great, weren't they?
I mean, it was probably quite impossible for me to get any worse where I was. So I wasn't expecting that. But actually, I've seen results straight away. Actually seeing an improvement straight away, and something I can work on straight away. So those three things together, straight away, brilliant.
So there you have it, a great session with Tom Godwin here at Wentworth, and some really interesting insights. Stay tuned for part 2, in which Tom's going to get a custom fitting, going to get a new driver fitted for his bag, hopefully to help him hit a few more fairways. I think that could possibly help. So, guys, before you go, please do hit the pause button and let us know any thoughts that you have. Let us know about what you thought about Tom's sort of lessons that he went through and the improvements that he's making. We would be interested to hear your thoughts. But for now, from Wentworth, it's goodbye.